Yeah.
We're gonna get up. I want to see if we can get questions queued up in just a minute. I got a couple more questions, but if you have a question, I don't know where the floor mic is anywhere. Is there a floor mic out there someplace? Hopefully. All right, we'll get the floor mic someplace. But while we figure out the floor mic, I want to talk to you guys, each one. What is the biggest challenge in creating a zombie level? Whether it's music, whether it's audio, whether it's gameplay. What is the one thing that each of you thinks about and is the biggest challenge as you go into each project?
I mean, all the way from what we're going to do, like starting from an idea of what kind of zombie map we're going to do, to coming up with features that fit that map, fit the story, and really just kind of tie all together. And then again, going back to that core idea of not breaking the game, not making it something that's, you know, completely exploitable, allowing for players to kind of get around some of our rules, but at the end of the day, you know, still get killed by zombies. And making sure that that all kind of starts and finishes that way. That's a pretty big challenge.
Yeah, for me, it's just trying to figure out what story elements we want to wrap up, what new things do we want to start, and what's going to be exciting and fun for the community. And, you know, also partly the Easter egg design. You know, like we have a team of people that actually we've built since the Ascension map to sort of flesh that stuff out. But it's really challenging to make them, you know, fun but difficult. And, you know, so it's always a concern when we start off that we want to, you know, make something cool with it.
Reza, as the zombie producer, what about you? Biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is the one we set for ourselves, which is trying to outdo our previous maps. You know, try to impress our fans, and every time they expect something, we need to come up with something much bigger. That's pretty much how we ended up on the moon, because, you know, as you can see here, the moon used to be called Paris. It actually was a map set in Paris. And as we were developing it, we were thinking, well, we can't really end up the whole zombie thing in France. Let's be serious about it. Let's go in space. Let's put this on the moon, and, you know, that took like 5 seconds before we decided that was a great idea, and we did it. But that's a challenge. It's really every time come up with something bigger that still works with the core gameplay, but that impresses our fans.
Great.
Yeah, biggest challenge sound-wise is just making sure that, you know, with new zombie types, to make sure that, like I said before, that you can tell which one is coming, where they're coming from. You know, distances are there. It's, you know, since these maps kept getting bigger and bigger, it was about how do we make sure that you can tell what's going on. And then, you know, since I do some of the writing, that's probably my most stressful part is when I start seeing feedback and what people say, because, you know, I write these lines and I'm like, well, I think that's funny. You know, I guess when I'm in my office by myself, making myself laugh, I guess. But, you know, when it actually gets out there, if people actually do find them funny, that's when I'm like, oh, thank God they like that line.
Because you never know. What about you?
Well, as far as the soundtrack goes, the most challenging thing is probably trying to work the story into a lyrics of the song within a very short time frame. And then we, you know, we have to fly Elena Sigmund out to sing the lyrics, and it's usually the first time she's ever seen them or heard them is when she gets into LA, and then we have a day or two, and Collin helps me record, and so it's just, you never know if it's going to work out, and it's terrifying. I mean, really good. Yeah.
We're going to get to the questions in just a minute, but first, last thing, real quickly from the panel here, I want to ask you, what is your favorite thing about zombies? What's your one favorite thing?
Community. I mean, it's awesome seeing how many people enjoy it and talk about it, and you know, it's just amazing to see that we could be a part of something so cool.
Zombie trains. I love zombie trains. I love when I'm down and my buddy runs across like this and he's followed by hundreds of zombies and I'm just laughing that I'm dying. I think laughing that I'm suffering and dying is great, and that's one of my favorite. And the fans, of course, for sure.
Okay, same answer. Favorite thing, these guys here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is Richtofen.
Okay.
Yeah. Specifically, I've got a favorite line I just have to say real quick, and I'm going to do a terrible Richtofen impression. This is my favorite line. It's in Doris when you buy a shotgun, and he says, "Oh, this makes them explode all over my face, all over my face." I love that line.
All right.
Yeah, of course, the community, you know, we got Carbon Fiber and Vosti and Peckler and all the guys down here. But I love playing zombies with Collin because I don't revive him. I just teabag him when he goes down. And I just love trolling, especially Collin.
All right, so we heard that community is really important. So let's turn the tables around. Robert, you got the microphone there. If you could just say your name, where you're from, and what your question is, please. Speak up.
My name is Dan from Massachusetts. And my question is, what goes into the process of the creation of the new wonder weapons for each of the new maps?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the new weapons, they fall under the same category as everything, which is fun. They have to be fun. We look for things we haven't done, or sometimes in maybe the case of Moon, we look for something that can help us bring back something people loved and give something new. And we definitely, I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to see things go boop. Like it's the fun, it's the, you know. So that's how we develop them. We start with, we need a new weapon. What do we want to do at the end of it? What do we want the player's experience to be? And do we want them to laugh, be scared, you know, both? So that's really kind of the onset of it.
Great, thank you.
Hello, I'm Juhani from Finland, Scandinavia.
Nice, that's no.
Hi. I'd love to see you guys tackle a zombie western map at some point, like, you know, North versus South, or General Custer's men versus zombie Indians.
Oh.
I'd love to see that. I'd pay for that. But my question regards, you know, having played these maps all the way from Nacht und Toten, I always think that, are you guys ever going to change the fact that you always die in these maps? And I thought, you know, it would be so great to survive, but would that be too much? Would that tamper too much with the franchise if you could actually survive the game, and could you be rewarded for this? I know this is a wild idea. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think this goes back to the core of the game, and we really like people knowing how desperate your situation is. It's about you managing your bullets, your economy, and at the end of the day, you're gonna die. It's just when. So, I mean, are you sure you can't beat some levels? I don't know, you know?
Real quick, just that question brought up something that it's been a challenge that we've been grappling with since we started telling a story in Zombies. Is that you're right? This is a mode where you always die at the end, and it's, you know, round based, and it just could go on forever. So it's been a challenge for us to figure out how we tell a story in a game mode that isn't really conducive to telling a story. You know, we started with the radios, and then we progressed with these side quests, and so it's a constant reinvention of how we're trying to get across storyline and characters in a game mode that really, it's sort of really hard to do that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Next question.
Yeah, I'm Talixian from Missouri, and I had a question on Shinonuma, Darius, and Shangri-La. There was a nursery rhyme heard. What exactly?
Oh, you found that on Shangri-La, huh?
You did find it. Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into it. Yeah, there is a nursery rhyme that is intended to be sort of Samantha's lullaby, you know, so it's a little eerie thing that we drop in every once in a while. It doesn't really have any major significance other than that.
It's just
Or does
creepy.
Or does it?
Or does it? Thank you. Next question.
I'm Jesus from Los Angeles. Will we be seeing any more of these beautiful creatures in the future?
Are you talking about us or the zombies?
Yeah.
That was the answer.
That's the answer. Thank you very much. Next question, please.
I'm Brendan from Chicago. In the future of Zombies, will we be seeing the same cast, and will Rick Tofton be Samantha?
I'm going to turn this around on you and ask you, do you think we will?
Probably.
Where's the troll face? Give him the troll face.
All right, we're going to take the next question, please.
My name is Brett, and I'm from Florida. I pretty much only play zombies now, and the biggest problem I have is that when I search for a match in Black Ops, I always get booted. Why do I have to go to World at War to play zombies matchmaking perfectly?
Can I get we have some zombie devs out here that are technical in nature. I don't want to point anybody out.
As he points them out.
We couldn't answer that for you. It's a bit above the technical stuff is like ones and zeros. Right. Unfortunately, sorry.
Do you have your own internet, or are you like using your neighbor's wireless?
I have my own. I always find a match,
all right, well,
but it always host migrates and kicks.
Oh yeah, sorry. That rules that out then.
Brian?
All right, well,
Brian,
we tried.
can you help us out here, Brian? Raise your hand.
All right, next question, please.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm from Long Beach, and my question is, has the storyline started from The Rise, and was there already planned from the beginning?
Well, I would say that that's probably when the core of the spine got written. We had some story ideas even back in Shino Numa and actually in Verrucht as well, but I don't think it was fully formed yet. What happened was we in Shino Numa we hid the secret radio message basically just to see how long it would take for somebody to find it. And we had references to Nazi conspiracies and Tunguska and a couple other cool things just wanted people to find, like written on the walls or whatever. But what happened was somebody found the message, the hidden message from Peter, and suddenly there were all these theories and websites popping up, and there are all these things where we're like, oh, whoa, what do we do? Like, I guess we're going to have to actually, rein this in and do something with it. And so that's kind of where it all started, was in Shino.
And to go off on that too, again, the community really has helped us take the story to places, that even we never expected. I remember just a small little anecdote. I was on, I'm pretty sure it was Call of Duty Zombies forum, and someone had written a post that said, guys, I was playing, and there's a zombie that when he swipes you, I think he says something. He comes up to you and goes, Sam, Sam. And who do you guys think Sam is? And so we read this, and we're like, yeah, who is Sam? Samantha?
We should make a Sam.
We could make a Sam. Yeah. So that's why in Doris, when we wrote the Samantha and Dr. Maxis, that's why the little girl's name was Samantha, was become some guy in the community heard a zombie say Sam, and that spawned this whole idea.
Now you know who Sam is. So sometimes the community really has a direct impact on future projects.
Yeah. We read what they say a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
Hey, what's up, guys? Chad from Washington State. What's up, buddy? How you doing? So I've got one question I was going to ask too, but you already answered one. So I already know Kevin and Collin's favorite map, but I would like to know the rest of your favorite map.
Favorite maps, gentlemen?
I'm a little biased, so I think Noct is dear to my heart. That's where it started. But then in kind of one of my goals with 5 on the disc was to kind of reimagine if that had all of the support we had nowadays and what we would do with that. So 5 is kind of like a fresh take on it, and it's as hard as it can get, and it's dead ends, and it's so to me both of those really have a place in my heart for sure.
Yeah, I actually dig Shino Numa. I thought the layout was really good. It's the first time we heard the characters. It's where a lot of the core of this stuff really, sort of got underway. But I also really like Moon. I like the diversity. I like, how advanced everything feels. I love the no man's land at the beginning. So obviously the side quest at the end is pretty epic, which is cool. So
my favorite one, perhaps Ascension, Moon. I like them all. It's like asking you, who's your favorite kid? Not going to do that.
More importantly, what's yours?
Good question.